everywhere. Loaded. Larry gets on my ass all the time. You gotta have a carry permit to carry a. I said, I got the Second Amendment.
Got it. Out.
Stuff like that. If we were white supremacists. Jorge.
Here.
Okay.
Thank you. You have a good one. Were you just served?
Yeah. Nexus Services Incorporated, through undersigned counselor pursuant to all applicable rules and laws, files this complaint alleging the named defendants is engaged in defamation of the plaintiff, causing reputational damage to the plaintiff.
He's real big on trying to scare people because he's done all kinds of frivolous lawsuits in this area before.
And lost.
And lost a lot of them.
And dropped
and,
some.
And I think what he's basically out here trying to do is to try to intimidate us, to shut our First Amendment right down. And it makes me feel like if, I mean, because I'm open to talk to him at any time. It kind of makes me feel like he's got something to hide if he's wanting to shut us up like that.
This right here protects every right that you have. Don't forget that.
Yep, and me just attaining my citizenship, you know, I earned that right. So now I'm gonna practice that right that I've earned and that I've worked for. So you know, I've done training and I'm, you know, handled these utensils before. So I have that right to do it, and I'm gonna continue to do it as long as I have.
And you were in the military as well, right?
Yep, yeah, I was prior military, 8 years. I'm just separated recently.
I'm civilly suing the CEO of what's it called, Nexus, because they are racist against legal immigrants. The programs they only offer to illegal citizens, illegal immigrants, people who have crossed the country, come into our country illegally. Those programs are only offered to illegals. They're not offered to those who are willing to do it the right way. So we're going to file a civil lawsuit against Nexus through American Warrior Revolution because they are being racist against those who are doing it the way it's supposed to be done, the way the law outlines it for it to be done. None of us are against immigration. We want it done the right way, the legal way. When people flood into any country, right? How many times have you heard of people flooding into the country of Mexico to live there? Well, they're not going to do that, right? Because Mexico doesn't offer the subsidies that we offer here. I'm tired of our taxpayer dollars going to pay and fund and expense illegal immigrants coming here illegally.
Listen, we've got an awful lot of food over here, man. And if you'd like, you and your folks, when you're finished, you can come over and we'll be more than happy to feed you. So if you're interested, just make your way on over. You're more than welcome.
Okay, appreciate that.
No worries. I will have to ask you to have the AR-15s not brought onto campus. But that's our private property. We restrict that, but obviously honor your right to have them. But if you guys want to come over and get some food, you're more than welcome to do so.
Okay.
Also, support your First Amendment rights, man. You know, I think that dialogue helps a lot, and you and I have never talked. So I am not a person that's hard to get a hold of, and if you ever want to talk, you're more than welcome to pick up the phone. Obviously, we've got a little bit of litigation going on, but if you want to talk outside of attorneys, more than happy to do that, because you know, I think that information cures ignorance, and it stops misunderstanding. So if you ever want to do that, you're more than welcome to chat. If you want to come over and get some food, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, I support your right to rally, and I wish you luck.
Okay, Mike Donovan with Nexus has invited us to go over and sit down and have open dialogue, and we're going to take a few guys and go over and talk with him.
Well, in the South, we have a saying, there's three sides to every story. His side, her side, and the truth.
Yeah. But if people would sit back and look and realize we have more in common than we have in differences.
Right.
Is because they made statements that were fundamentally untrue. They made statements that were defamatory, and they made statements that called into question the character and integrity of everyone standing here today and everyone that works for this organization. I have a duty to this company, to our employees, and to our clients to protect and defend you, and I will take that duty seriously all the time.
I'm Mike Donovan. I'm President and CEO of Nexus Services, Inc. And Nexus Services is actually a series of companies that help people who are disadvantaged or disaffected populations, and specifically people that are in jail or prison or immigration custody. Our goal is to reduce the number of people who are incarcerated across the board. We believe that incarceration is overused. The United States of America incarcerates more people than any other country in the world per capita, and it's by a huge margin. We double and triple incarceration rates against some of the countries we would think are not free, yet we call ourselves the land of the free. So I'm a big believer in the American ideal and actually getting back to it. I think we should incarcerate people less and encourage more fuller societal participation amongst different groups, and so that's what we do. So we have several different companies that do that. The company that seems to have caught the ire of the militia folks is Libre by Nexus, which works with immigrants in detention. And again, our focus there is to try to provide opportunities for immigrants to come out of detention, become fully involved in the community and in society, and hopefully be able to make their case on why they should stay in the United States.
Driving by. Yeah, we're going to take it down and give it to them.
I have here two banners that were hung outside of our campus. One targeted you, Penny, and one targeted you, Larry. They're yours to take. You can take them home, you can burn them, you can do whatever you want with them. We're not going to keep them, we're not going to use them again. You earn that by coming over here. So with all due respect, I'll tell you that you guys can have those, do with them what you want. All right? My purpose in inviting you was because I saw you say that you wanted to talk to me, or you were willing to talk to me, Larry. And when I saw that, I said, well then, why don't we do that? Right? Like, that's why you're here. Not because I think somehow I'm going to convince you that the way you think or the way you talk, the way you refer to immigrants is wrong. I've got my opinion. You have yours. And you have a right to say whatever it is that you want to say. The lawsuit that was served on you both is a lawsuit that was served on you for saying things that were purported to be facts that weren't facts. They're not correct. And in some cases, they inferred illegal activity. And under the law, that's called defamation per se. You can't do that. I'm going to also start our conversation today by telling both of you that if you write me a letter that says that the things that you said, and they're specifically laid out with quotes in the lawsuit, are things that you retract, and you do that in writing, then I will drop the lawsuit and there won't be any need for litigation.
The important thing is to have open dialogue, a communication, so you can learn from the other people, so they can learn who you are for what you are, not what you hear, what you say. The other problem is people jump to conclusions on a lot of stuff. You know, the open dialogue is huge. You know, hopefully today goes well and some stuff has been cleared out of the air. I mean, honestly, will you guys see eye to eye? Probably not, but at least headway has been made, the dialogue's been opened. You know, and to me, that's a huge statement.
We incarcerate far too many people, okay? That's just a fact. And government abuse isn't just something that happens to immigrants. It happens to folks on the militia side as well. In fact, we know that there have been very specific instances in the past where the government has abused militia rights. And we also know that the FBI actively infiltrates militia groups. You know that, right? We know that the state police in their fusion data collection work to send people into those groups. So I don't think that's right? I don't think that the government, let me finish. Okay. What I'm telling you is you're going to find a consistency in my perspective. I'm not trying to tell you to agree with me. Just telling you that there's going to be a consistency.
That was the reason for the question.
In defending people's rights.
Because you had said that you, I'm not going to word it perfectly, but you stand up for the Constitution, and the Constitution is for everyone.
When people sit in jail and become public charges, I don't think that's a reflection. They still have the rights to petition. I don't think we're learning anything about whether that person is going to carry their weight as an American citizen, right? I think when we have an opportunity, when one of our clients comes out and they get their work permit and they get a job and they work real hard and they join a church or a civic organization, they begin to know other people in the community, and they become part of this American community that we have. When they get in front of an immigration judge, Penny, that judge and that prosecutor, they have an opportunity to see what that person's going to do because they've had an opportunity to see what they did. And we're much better off to keep the community safe seeing that than having a person held in detention for 2 years and then released because they were determined to be an asylum seeker. And now this person has nothing. They've been in jail for 2 years. They're going to become a public charge because they have to. And I don't think that benefits anyone's interest. So I don't even think we're arguing about the issue. I think that I believe and passionately believe that the services that we offer actually answer that.
If they come across the border, they get locked up for coming across the border illegally, you're going to help them. So you're encouraging people that's sitting on the other side of the border to, hey, I can just walk in the United States and say, hey, I'm here. Is that fair to people like Jorge and people that have went the right way to become an American citizen and to come into this country legally? Is that fair to these folks?
A person might come across the border and be determined to be an asylum seeker. There might be an avenue of the law that permits them to petition for relief, and that makes them eligible for bond. But the person who simply says, hey, I talked to my cousin and now I'm coming over, isn't. And if you went through the immigration system, and so you know that the idea that it's just simply lax isn't accurate.
We are not who you may have thought when we came into your office, right? And to be able to stand up and say, you know what the mainstream media said about you and what politicians say about you and what my neighbor down the street says about you, none of that is true. Because I was able to sit here in your office at your table and not just be here to argue or to ask questions of one another, but to listen. The most important thing that any of us are doing today is listening. But man, we're all human. We're all human beings. And we are divided on race, creed, nationality, what you do in your bedroom, what color shoes you wear, what church you go to. That's not by us. Okay? That's media. That's politics. That's things that are created to make this division. This is where it's at. And I appreciate you inviting us over because I know that every time we have this, and we talk about this all the time in videos, I say, when you're sitting at the end of a long table, there's no ashtray at your end. Well, there's no ashtray at either end of this one.
I think it was a productive conversation. Look, I think they were the people that they are. I think they were the people they are today when I thought about them yesterday. Context means something. When you're able to sit and talk to people, it means something. Do I agree with everything they agree with, or even a majority of the things? Probably not. It's pretty clear that's a two-way street. But when you can, we believe in our company in respecting and affirming and promoting the inherent worth and dignity of all people, even people we disagree with, especially people we disagree with. So I think it's productive. I think, I've gotten to know them, and anytime you get to know a person, there's an important context to that person that you're going to add to your understanding. I think that's always a benefit, and I think that that's a benefit for me talking to them and hopefully a benefit for them talking to me.